A thorough and extremely personal glimpse into Britney Spears' life is provided in her memoir, titled The Woman in Me. This book reveals the tragic facts and unexpected events that have formed her journey. Britney's remarks shed light on the nuances of her journey and the perseverance that carried her through it. From her battles under the restrictive conservatorship to the problems she encountered in the public glare, Britney confronted a variety of obstacles. Britney was allegedly coerced into entering a rehabilitation facility in 2009, which is when she first became aware of the hashtag Free Britney movement. The facility was a place where she was being treated for her substance abuse. This effort, which started with worried fans and gathered strength through a podcast that analyzed her Instagram posts, was a crucial factor in her eventual escape for the reasons stated above. A nurse working in the institution showed her films of admirers who were vehemently fighting for her, with some of them holding signs of support and wearing t-shirts that contained the phrase, "Free Britney." Britney was profoundly moved by these actions, which provided her with a sense of camaraderie at a time when she felt completely at a loss for others. She acknowledged the tenacity of her admirers in their campaign for her freedom when her voice had been muted, and she expressed her profound gratitude to them after the conservatorship she had been under expired in 2021. Britney's performance at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2001, which featured a live python, is another milestone in her career that has become ingrained in the legends of popular culture. However, she had a horrific incident taking place behind the scenes of the event. The reptile snarled and flicked its tongue dangerously close to Britney's face while she was performing, and Britney has had a long-standing fear of snakes. She was able to concentrate on the performance despite her anxiety, and she gave an act that would be remembered forever. Her performance at the Video Music Awards in 2007 was, on the other hand, a low moment in her career. During her description, she detailed the mayhem that occurred backstage, which was further exacerbated by an unanticipated meeting with her former boyfriend, Justin Timberlake. Despite the fact that she provided her best effort, the performance received widespread criticism, which left her feeling dejected. The film Crossroads from 2002 was the most notable example of Britney's brief excursion into acting, which she performed in. As a result of her dedication to method acting, the boundaries between truth and fiction became increasingly blurry, and she became hesitant about whether or not to pursue additional roles. Despite being offered a role in the musical Chicago, which went on to win an Academy Award, she declined the opportunity to play the lead role in The Notebook. Matthew Barry, the director of casting, stated that he was impressed with Britney's audition, and in the end, the decision between her and Rachel McAdams for the main role was a competitive one. The news generated intrigue about how Britney might have done in such a legendary film, despite the fact that she later expressed pleasure that she did not get the job. Another source of emotional suffering that Britney Spears examines in her biography is the relationship that she has with her younger sister, Jamie Lynn Spears. Despite the fact that her sister was cruel, she expressed the impression that she was overwhelmed by the fact that their parents had a preference for Jamie Lynn. Britney sought assistance from Jamie Lynn during the conservatorship process. However, she experienced a sense of betrayal when her sister disregarded her efforts and made a decision that supported their father. Britney continues to be protective of Jamie Lynn, attempting to cultivate compassion for her and continuing to perceive her as a younger sister, even in the face of public disagreements. This is despite the ongoing difficulties that she is experiencing. Britney's issues with mental health are also discussed in the biography, notably those that she experienced in her early years as a mother. At a time when conversations about mental health were uncommon and frequently stigmatized, she struggled with postpartum depression while being bombarded with media attention. The public portrayed Britney as a reckless party girl, and she disclosed how her troubles were misinterpreted and misrepresented by the public. She stated that a significant portion of the accusations that were made against her regarding her partying were exaggerated, and that she frequently utilized medication as a means of coping with her sadness. Through the telling of her story, Britney hopes to both reduce the stigma associated with mental health concerns and encourage others to seek assistance. It was Britney's decision to shave her head in 2007 that became one of the most talked about moments in her life. It was revealed in her memoir that this act was a reaction to the significant amount of pressure that she was under from the media and those who were in charge of her life. After being inspected and instructed what to do for a number of years, she articulated that it was a means of reclaiming her agency. But under the conservatorship, Britney was compelled to grow her hair back and adapt to the stringent physical standards that were set by others. Britney claimed that shaving her head was a form of defiance, but she was obliged to do it. Britney's testimony of an abortion she had while she was dating Justin Timberlake is yet another revelation that is extremely painful to her. She went into detail about the agony she felt upon learning that she was pregnant, as well as her unhappiness when Justin argued that they were not yet prepared to become parents. This is a decision that Britney claims she would not have made if it had been entirely up to her, despite the fact that she had long dreamed of becoming a mother. She agreed to terminate the pregnancy. A memory that continues to be quite distressing is the one in which she described the heartbreaking experience of Justin attempting to console her by playing his guitar as she was crying on the floor of the restroom. A heartbreaking story of the 13-year conservatorship that governed practically every aspect of Britney's life is at the heart of her memoir on the subject of her life. It was out of love for her children that she originally consented to it, with the expectation that compliance would assist her in regaining custody of her children. Because of the arrangement, she was deprived of her independence, and she was left with the impression that she was a child robot. At the same time that her public image continued to flourish, Britney detailed how her father controlled every aspect of her life, from her appearance to the interactions she had with her children. Britney celebrated the end of the conservatorship in 2021, finally regaining her independence and expressing her joy at being able to live her life according to her own terms. This was despite the problems that she had been experiencing over the years. In addition to providing an honest glimpse at her life, Britney's memoir is a stunning monument to her resiliency and strength. In addition to being a narrative about overcoming enormous obstacles, it is also a story about surviving, being empowered, and the journey she took to restore her identity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.